Hi, it is Rebecca Reinking, and I have a really great CH or ch trick if your child has difficulties with this sound. Now, there are two things I want you to know. First, this can be a cue that can help if your child deaffricates, if they say shop, but they actually mean chop, or if they say shoe, but they mean to say chew. So it's a great little trick for this. Otherwise, it's also just a good little thing to try if your child is just not stimulable for the ch sound. So there's two ways that you can do this. So this is all you need. So first, what you're going to do is you're going to start with t. Yep, we're starting with the T sound. And there's a really good reason why I want you to start with this. For many children who deaffricate and they do the shop for chop, they're really missing that plosive and that build up of that sound and that release. So we're going to start with t because we want that child to practice and think about building up that pressure that you need for that plosive. So I'd say something like this. Hey, can you do the t sound for me like this? T. I like that. Now let's do it a few times, okay? And then we're going to freeze our tongue in that spot. So like this. Ready? T, t. And I might do that and I might show the child my tongue frozen up, like as if I'm just about to say t, but my tongue's frozen. Okay. Once they get that and they know how to freeze their tongue up there, I then might say, hey, do you think we can hold our tongue frozen in that spot and we can think about saying the T sound and get our tongue ready there, but we're actually going to say this straight afterwards. We're going to say shop. And when you do that, it can help the child if they're thinking about T and they're thinking about that tongue and they're holding the t sound. T. And then we're going to get them to round their lips and say this. And I'm going to show you what it looks like, because what this can do is it can approximate or get a very, very close or even a really clear ch sound. So just before you do this, know that it might take a couple of prompts from you and you might have to modify and keep adjusting your instructions and your verbal cues to the child. So this is how it works. Ready? I'm going to think about saying that sound and get my tongue ready, but I'm going to say shop. Ready? Chop. Okay, so that's how you're going to do it for the child. Now, if they can't do that and if it still comes out as shop, I would say, oh, I want to hear that tongue a bit stronger. Or let's start with t. Let's start with that t sound and then say shop like this. Shop. And if I say it fast enough, shop, shop, shop. And I say it faster and faster, and you might want to bring the cards closer and closer together so that it does get that really close approximate. So I'll model that again for you. You might want to start with T and then do the SH word. Here we go. T, shop, t, shop, t, shop, t, shop, chop. So hopefully by the end of that little sequence, you have approximated or you've kind of said the word chop. So try those. Try the idea of T. Try starting with T, getting your tongue ready to say T, thinking about the T sound or that little close T and your SH word, and see if that can help you get the ch sound for your child. Now, if that trick didn't work, because I always let SLPs and parents know that one cue, one trick is not going to work for every single student. It's just something I like to tell people because I can't promise it. All our kids are different learners. Go have a look at our CH and J sound handbook, our ch and j handbook. We list over 100 different cues, different gestures, different things to try, different things to say, so that you can help problem solve and figure out the exact ingredients, the exact cues that can help your child say the ch sound more clearly and correctly.